All right, folks, we are back on another episode of Lunch with Doug. Today we're going to be talking about looking, listening, and taking action on the stuff that we're talking about. A better way of wording that is unlocking the music Exurbia experience. That sounds much bigger, doesn't it? We're going to do that in just a minute right here on Lunch with Doug. This episode of Lunch with Doug is produced by the Music Exurbia Project and made possible by the Boutique Marketplace at 500 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Karen McNair, the friendly neighborhood nutritionist at 269-267-4644. The Harry Frog Graphics, 150 North Commercial Street in fabulous Nevada, Missouri, or call them at 417-381-1077. The Second Edition Shop, located at 500 East Cherry Street in fantastic Nevada, Missouri. The Main Square Cafe, located on the square, 121 North Main Street, Nevada, Missouri. The Gamers Fusion, located at 617 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. Impact Graphics, located at 14144 East Highway 54, or call them at 417-283-2056. The Nevada Tobacco and Liquor Store, located at 125 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. The Nevada Coin, 123 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. I'm your host, Dangerous Doug Harper. Thank you for spending your lunchtime with me. All right, hey, lunchtime legends, welcome back to another episode of Lunch with Doug. I, of course, have said this probably 5 times by now. I'm your host, Dangerous Doug Harper, but I guess you know that. And you know what we're talking about today. We're diving deep into the vibrant world of music Exurbia. Okay, so I sound excited, don't I? Yeah. I am excited, though. I really am. We're going to take time to express the look. We're going to listen. And we're going to take action. That's what we're going to talk about today. Unlocking the music Exurbia experience. So, all right, folks, let's just start by getting our eyes on the prize. Okay, so how do you get in the know? Now, you listening, of course, if you've listened to more than one show, you know that this is a place where you get in the know. Probably the most information will come from the Lunch with Doug podcast. It is the eyes and the ears of the Music Exurbia Project, the Music Exurbia experience, however you want to word that. We have all that stuff here because obviously I'm the guy that's working on it. So those things I know about. Now, sometimes the community events that we're promoting, of course, I'm not as connected to those, but I'm pretty connected. And so usually the things we promote on here, I am going to be at those events. I can't always make them, but most of the time I'm at those events, even if it's not something that we're, 100% involved in. But we are close to home. They're a sponsor. They're part of our network, and it's something that's important. A lot of times it does just fall in Nevada. That's kind of our area. Our primary area is Nevada, but we are reaching out to the Lunch with Doug podcast. Really covers more of a 60-mile radius of Nevada. So we talk about some things in the area as well and try to get out and about in that area. But then we also are getting into the, further national and global. We've had national musicians on here and stuff because we dabble into the Local Ear magazine, which goes out into the greater world. So we talk about that some here too. So you get a lot. I'm sorry. It's all over the place. It's dizzy, I'm sure. So, to stay up with it, okay, I want to simplify it for you because there's really some important stuff that comes out of this, and then there's a lot of babbling, which I've already started to do. I've already got off page, so I apologize for that. In the last few episodes, we've had guests in here, we've been chit-chatty, and we've went really long episodes, and I'll try to get this done pretty quickly here for you guys so you can get back to work, which I know that's what you want to do if you're listening on your lunch break. Maybe you're at work today, and maybe you're on the clock while you're listening, and that's always exciting. I'm not going to, if your boss asks me about this, I'm not going to say I endorse listening on the clock. But, hey, if you are in a job where you have a way you can listen, and while you're getting paid and listening to Lunch with Doug, doing something else, that's cool. That's really cool. Lots of people listen to the radio. Why couldn't you listen to a podcast? All right. but I'm not going to say that to your boss, because if you get in trouble, I'm not taking the fall for you. I'm going to throw you under the bus. Not really, but kind of. All right, the look, folks. You got to get your eyes on the prize. It all begins with being able to have some sort of visual connection, and we do visual stuff. Things you can see that are easy to view are, say, the Lunch with Doug TikTok page. Now, you're going to get a lot of my personal life in there. You're going to get a lot, but you get that on this show too. But what we promote on there is a lot of the same things, and then we promote kind of pointing back to the show, because it's a way to reach out and hopefully get people, again, here where things seem to be the most information is here, but because TikTok a lot of times is just corny and fun, but there's a lot of that. So check out that TikTok page, and when there's something really big going on, you're going to see that in all of our social media pages. It's all going to kind of come out there. So if you start seeing a lot, hey, we're talking about a lot. It's one of the more important or bigger things. So yeah, we're growing, we're grooving, and we are on TikTok. Follow us there for behind the scenes glimpses, quirky dance moves. I'm not really into doing a lot of dances on TikTok, though my daughter has made me dance. So there are some TikTok videos with me dancing with my daughter, doing the trendy dances that she makes me do. So I try to avoid that all possible, because I look completely ridiculous. And every once in a while, maybe there's a surprise guest appearance, or I take a selfie with somebody or something while I'm out and about. So, and heck, some of you listeners have been on there, or followers. Sometimes I catch you guys, or especially if you're following the TikTok page, yeah, sometimes I get you guys or tag you on there, talk to you, answer questions, all that stuff. That's what's cool about TikTok. You can easily ask a question by posting something on there, and I usually give a video response to most of those. So that's a cool way to get interactive with what we're doing here. Of course, you can click the link. This is getting away from the look, but you can get in. There's a link in every episode that you can actually link and message us an audio message that I will play on the show. So message me up, and I'll get you on the show. Your voice will be on this show, and that's fun too, and not so hard to do. I have had some friends that had some trouble with some phones. You kind of got to approve the app at first, and I think you actually maybe have to get some kind of free account with the whatever app that it comes through. I don't know. That might have changed, but some people have got through to me, so I know it works. But I can't do it because I am the creator of the podcast, so it will not let me message myself. So I cannot do the process, and I wish I could give you some user feedback, but I'm out on that one, folks. So I apologize. So yes, definitely check in with the TikTok page. Then we have the magazine, the Local Ear magazine, which is a subscription base. It does cost money. TikTok, of course, is free to go see that. But the magazine has some more... It has some content that you're not going to find on the social media, obviously, henceforth why it costs money, because there's writers, and there's just exclusive stuff that's just worth giving a little bit of money for. Plus, you got to pay for it's got to get sent to you. It's a physical product, so there's postage involved. It comes to your mailbox, and it covers lots of music out there as maybe not so much the Lunch with Doug show is not necessarily, we're getting more into that, but the Local Ear is part of the Exurbia Project, and it's our outreach into the greater music world. So you got to be out there in the greater music world as well as inside. And we have a Local Ear podcast as well that you can find exclusively on Spotify, and it has we talk to some musicians and play some music of their songs and such, but we don't do that as often. Sometimes it follows some things that are in the magazine, so it is a recruiting tool to get you to the magazine. So it's not like something that it's just another thing to do. So running a bunch of all this stuff, takes time to do. So you got good stuff out there. So we use that sparingly, but it's a little more timeless, the interviews and whatnot. But hopefully, you can discover some really cool artists out there that we've talked about in the magazine. And that, of course, is free to hear that. But that is hopefully an introduction to what is in the magazine, and there's more of it. So hopefully you can pull into that, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I want to discover some of these new artists and such. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about artists that are on TapTunes. As you know, I'll talk more about TapTunes coming up. But we're talking about TapTunes artists, and then, of course, we're going to be talking about artists that are going to be playing at the Red Cherry Alley, which we've talked about on this show, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up as well. So that's all stuff that's happened in the magazine, okay? So, the listen part. Now that you have your eyes wide open to what we're talking about here, I want to tune in your ears to the fact that music really is the lifeblood. Although the Lunch with Doug and the Music Exurbia Project is community and music, and we try to do most of our events, try to have both of those elements in there, but we talk about stuff that's in the community that's not music related, as well as we talk about music stuff that's not necessarily always in the community. So there's that too, but that's the minimum. That's the minority of the things we speak of in the Music Exurbia Project. Music, community together. Somewhere there's community, somewhere there's music. Here is how you soak that in. With the TapTunes tap cards, you can buy those. Of course, you can experience my music. You can experience, again, if you're tapped into the local area, you can experience a lot of the artists that we're talking about in there are also on TapTunes. And this is a product you buy through the TapTunes website, and you'll be able to find links to that in periodic pushes, and there's QR codes in the magazine, all the stuff to get that. And you can just search it up, TapTunes, and find it by there, taptunes.com. You can find all about it, and then there's an artist page where you can actually look at the artist, and then you can actually buy the physical cards, which now you tap to your phone, and you don't have to download an app. It just plays it instantly. You can tap it to some cars. The new Cadillac has it, and soon TVs will have it too. You'll be able to tap it to TVs and listen to the music. So it's just something, a new type of way to get music easily. And also a lot of the stuff currently, a lot of the artists that have TapTunes music out, you're not finding this in streaming places too, such as my Best Of album has many of the songs that are in streaming, but then there's a couple alternative versions on there that you cannot get in streaming. So there is different content that you are not able to find anywhere else. So online. So exclusive content. I plan on putting out more exclusive content through the TapTunes, TapTunes format. So that is coming as well. But right now, that Best Of Dangerous Doug album is out, and it is on TapTunes, and it is really showcasing my career, and this year's 30 years of me. I don't want to get into me. This is going to be another episode, but that is happening. So TapTunes is one of the ways you can listen to the music that we are speaking of. And the streaming platforms, of course, a lot of those have the artists as well, and in my case, some of that is going to be different. You're going to be getting exclusive content through different places. You're finding different things, so stuff that's relevant there. So fire up your favorite streaming service, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you groove at, and search for Dangerous Doug Harper Music, and you won't be disappointed. It will be fun. The Lunch with Doug podcast is also everywhere. You can catch us on all the major podcast platforms. You already know that because you're listening to us. We are on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, Google Podcasts, you name it. We're pretty much there if it's an important place. And you tune in, of course, and you hear this wonderful dash of my signature humor that's not really all that funny. You can visit lunchwithdoug.com. It will take you right to a place where you can quickly listen to the podcast and explore, the links and all that stuff is there. But I think that's pretty much on all the podcast places. But every place is different, and honestly, I have not listened everywhere our podcast is at. So that's that, because I don't use everywhere I'm not subscribed or whatever to everywhere. So So and then of course our third message today is taking action. All right, this is really where the rubber meets the road, and you got to turn your vibes into actions. And going to live music and community events that we talk about, the store, shopping at the stores that sponsor the show, buying the music, the artists, or if you don't buy it, at least like follow them or go watch them, listen to them. These kind of things is very important, because that's what we're really doing here. The action has to keep the momentum going. So we talk about them, and then it's your turn to experience them, attend the gigs, sway with the rhythm, as you might say, and connect with the fellow fans or followers. Then, of course, there are other things that we talk about that aren't necessarily live music or community events, but we talk about things like tap tunes, for instance. Even if it's not my album, and even if you don't buy the album, go check out the website and get an idea of what we're talking about. And then once you get there, you might be really impressed and you might be excited. And there's other things that the Tap Tunes also has that are, I won't go there, but there's other products and things that they also produce that you might discover and find very useful in your life. Of course, we want you to attend the Red Cherry Alley. Get the season tickets right now. There's a great savings on those. So get the tickets now. You get a big savings. It's going to go up quite a bit closer to spring. So get those now, the early bird deal. And because the spring and summer are brewing, and so is the Red Cherry Alley music shows. Grab your season tickets and have... it's like having backstage access to the coolest jam sessions in town. Jam sessions is a light word for it. It's, performers. We have touring regional performers. We've got local performers. We got singer-songwriters. A number of great things, and you can find more about that, of course. Here, we've talked about it, but that will be... There's more like links and such, like at their Facebook, the Red Cherry Alley Facebook. And you'll learn about that, of course, on our Lunch with Doug TikTok as well. So... And sometimes you just see a view. Like the other night I was out there while it was snowing, or it had snowed, and I thought, well, I'll just show the view here from Red Cherry Alley. All right, there you have it. My Lunchtime Warriors, the ultimate guide to unlocking the Music Exurbia experience, the Music Exurbia Project. Remember, it's not all about listening. It's about living the beat. And until next time, keep your ears perked, keep your feet tapping, keep your heart singing. And that's all I got. This is Lunch with Doug, and I'm heading out of here. I do want to again mention that Red Cherry Alley season tickets are subject to availability, and we will not take any responsibility for the spontaneous dance-off that might occur at those events. There you go. Because there's going to be some groovy bands. I promise you, some of the grooviest bands. Multi-genre, and some of the best stuff's coming there. So cue into those Red Cherry Alley shows here on Lunch with Doug, and make sure to get all the updates on that at the Facebook, the Red Cherry Alley Facebook. That's it. The Music Exurbia adventure awaits, so look, listen, and groove together. This episode of Lunch with Doug is produced by the Music Exurbia Project and made possible by the Boutique Marketplace at 500 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Karen McNair, the friendly neighborhood nutritionist at 269-267-4644. The Harry Frog Graphics, 150 North Commercial Street in fabulous Nevada, Missouri, or call them at 417-381-1077. The Second Edition Shop, located at 500 East Cherry Street in fantastic Nevada, Missouri. The Main Square Cafe, located on the square, 121 North Main Street, Nevada, Missouri. The Gamers Fusion, located at 617 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. Impact Graphics, located at 14144 East Highway 54, or call them at 417-283-2056. The Nevada Tobacco and Liquor Store, located at 125 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. The Nevada Coin, 123 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri.